PropSales is an end-to-end PropTech solution for property developers. PropSales offer property sales booking system, ProCRM for leads management, ProFix for property defect management system, and ProBilling for billing and collection management. PropSales was established in 2015. It's a PropTech company that certified with MSC status in 2017. In 2019, PropSales became a member of Malaysia PropTech Association. By June 2019, PropSales officially entered the commissions market. Within 1 year, it's enjoying rapid growth of 300%. In September, PropSales was awarded with a Golden Bull Award, emerging SME for its tremendous growth and success. PropSales was also nominated for the Innovative Technology Award in PropTech Solution by IBR Asia Group. PropSales offer the most suitable digitalization solutions for properties developers. Get in touch with us now at enquiry@infradigitals.com.my.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the session 4 of the Malaysian Properties Virtual Talk Show 2021, session 2. This session is going to be dedicated to a PropTech ecosystem, to the PropTech ecosystem, above all the Malaysian PropTech ecosystem. I am Dr. Daniele Gambero, the Propionomist, CEO and co-founder of Ray Group of Companies and Propionomy.com, and I'm also the Deputy President. Today I'm here in my shoes of Deputy President of the Malaysian PropTech Association. Thanks to all of you for being here with us today. And today's topic is going to be related very much to the solution that PropTech has been bringing to the market to manage building, to manage businesses, to manage residential communities and communities of people. We have two prestigious guests that I will introduce to you in a short while. Now, before we start with the introduction of the guest, let me remember to all of you the great sponsor that is behind this realization of Virtual Talk Show 2021 Season 2 is Big2 Bazaar. And Big2 Bazaar has been preparing a huge basket of unbelievable prizes to be distributed to all our participants able to comply with 5 important points. The very first one, you need to like the Malaysian Properties Facebook page and the Big2 Bazaar Facebook page. You go there now, you like now, is also good. Go and do it. Second thing, you need to share our talk show, the talk show that is going on now, on your Facebook page and using 2 hashtags. One is hashtag MPM like Malaysia, P like Pakistan, Weekly Prizes 2021. The other hashtag is MPT Malaysia, Pakistan, Thailand Talk Show 2021. Hashtag MP Talk Show 2021 with the first 3 letters capital. The third thing that you need to do is to be getting ready at the end of the show to reply to the question, to the quiz that will be asked by me at the end. All right? You have to listen carefully to what we say, watch everything, read about the titles, the name of the people, the session, the name, the title of the session, and all these kind of things, so that at the end you will be ready to reply to the quiz. Only the fastest will receive huge prizes that are inclusive of an iPhone 12, not small things. So you have to be ready to reply and send by WhatsApp to this number 010-916-4347, together with your full name and your name in Facebook, because we need to check that you have been liking the pages and using the hashtag and sharing and all these kind of compliances, term and condition to win the prize. Number 4, as I was saying, be the fastest. And number 5, get ready to see who the winners are on Monday, during the day of Monday morning, Monday afternoon, on the Malaysian Property Facebook page. All right? So this being our condition for today, let's start introducing the topic. I prepare the stage. All right? Let's talk first about PropTech. What is PropTech? PropTech is property and technology, meaning when technology helps property to thrive, to resolve pain points, challenges that the property developers, real estate agents, valuers, professional construction companies, and so on are and have faced and will face with or without pandemic. PropTech is actually quite a seasoned term, let me say so. The very first application in PropTech through computer were done in the middle 80s, when the very, very first computing system analyzing and combining series of number and data were used to record all the transactions, the values, and so on. Then during the 90s, the first 10 years of the second millennium, and above all in the last 10 years, 2010 to 2020, PropTech has been really making a huge jump forward. Nowadays, Malaysian PropTech Association has more than 60 members already, serving all the different layers of the real estate industry. We go from big data, we go to online portals such as Property Hunter, one of our media partners for this virtual talk show. We have end-to-end solution like ProSales. ProSales goes from lead management till defect management after VP. We also go into rental, we go into short-term rental, kind of following a bit the big success of Airbnb and other platforms. We have several players in Malaysia that are allowing a easy catchment of tenants on the short term. We have Contech, where technology helps during the construction time. We have Legal Tech. Nowadays, e-signing, e-contract are fully approved, fully enforced in the market, and because of this, is actually possible to complete the buying journey of a property in a totally virtual ways. Of course, building, after being designed, constructed, sold, and completed, delivered, need to be managed. And the best the management of a building is carried on, the more value this building will generate for their owners. Being them, let me say, be very simple. As a propenomist, I'm talking to you now. You are buying a property for investment, or even to live in this property. We are not saying you will live for a short time or a long time in this property. Maybe after 5 years you want to sell the property. Of course, you want to have a capital gain. Okay, this capital gain, together with, for an investor, a good return on investment, are normally produced in a better, easier, and fast-growing manner if the building is properly managed. We have several qualities, several types of building. We have commercial building like office tower. We have commercial building like hotels. We have a shopping mall, retail space, high-rise condominium, landed township, landed gated and guarded areas. Well, today we have been inviting two prestigious members of the Malaysian PropTech Association. Both of them are offering building, community, and business management solutions. And without further ado, I will introduce now to you the very first is we give a very high importance in Malaysia PropTech Association to open door and to give absolutely priority to women. Well, ServDeck, our first guest, is represented here by Miss Michelle Tan, co-founder and current director of business development of ServDeck. Good afternoon, Michelle, and welcome on board.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Daniel, for the great introduction. Right. Okay, just a quick intro.
You are mute.
Oh, sorry. Let me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sure. Okay. So actually, just a quick intro. ServTech is actually a comprehensive smart facility operation and management platform. So what we do is specialize. This is a solution special for commercial buildings, shopping mall, store, hotels, and various service providers. So our goal of into this PropTech is actually to help our clients and partners in implementing a value-added change through innovative, intelligent automation and digitalization. So basically what we have right now is we have about 250 commercial buildings that's currently using ServDeck, and about 600 outlets or store is also using ServDeck. And we also help our customers to manage about 50,000 assets as of now. So these are a quick intro, and just to add on, what we provide is a single platform for property owners, management office, maintaining company, vendors, contractors, tenants, and shoppers, inclusive visitors. So all in one platform. Okay, thank you, Daniel.
Very good. ServDeck is definitely one of the well-established, I cannot say most established, but well-established startup in Malaysia. Should be considered no more a startup, is a running up now, a scaling up, actually, a scaling up. Very good to have you here today, Michelle. The second guest is, I would say, is another, like me, Masale Quailo, that coming in Malaysia many years ago. I've been here for 22. He is still behind me, but for a short while. He come from the same area, which is called Europe. We are a bit southern as Italy, my kampung. His kampung is in Netherlands. I'm talking about Francis Ambaja. He's from Netherlands. He has been here for, I think, 14, 15 years. Later, we will hear from him. And he is a co-founder and current CEO of Properly, another tech solution to manage residential community and residential building. Frank, welcome on board.
Thank you very much, Dr. Daniel. Thanks, everybody, for the kind introduction. And good afternoon, everybody that's here online with us today. And further, I would like to quickly thank also Malaysian Property for organizing this talk show, which is really awesome. Our industry definitely needs more opportunities online to find a larger public. So thanks again for this opportunity. Let me quickly introduce Properly to you. Properly is an end-to-end property and building resident and community management application for property developers and building managers. And Properly offers state-of-the-art cloud-based solutions and in order to enhance customer care and after-sales services to improve, and this is important, resident satisfaction. So the more happier the residents are, the more happier our clients are as well. So that's what we try to achieve. Back to you, Dr. Daniel.
Very good, very good. And I know, and I'm sure, because I've been meeting, knowing, and discussing with both Frank and Michelle in several occasions when promoting the activities and the presence, the huge presence of Malaysian PropTech Association in the market about their solutions. And I'm sure that today we will be able, we are here today not to promote SerDec or Properly, but to create awareness in the market about, point one, the fact that there is something called Malaysia PropTech Association, which is strong, which is fast growing, and which is highly sustainable to be used as a vehicle of connection to the different startup solution for property developer and professionals. So I'm sure that through the question that I will first ask to our two panelists, and through the one that you all from the public are invited to send in, we are now live on 7, 8, or 9 different Facebook pages. You can see my page, Propenomist, Properly Facebook page, SerDec Facebook page, ProSales, Malaysian Property, and so on. You will find the same live everywhere. You please ask a question if something will be not clear during the rollout of this panel discussion, or if you have any unanswered question. We start for the first one with Michelle. And of course, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the public that somehow has been listening and not listening, but looking at PropTech as something that is exclusively related to property development. It's not, as we well know. Can you tell us a little bit more about SerDec and how a PropTech solution like yours is actually helping, which is extremely important, in managing a precious asset, making it becoming more precious and a good source of profitable ROI, return on investment.
Yep.
Michelle, tell us a bit.
Okay, yep. Thank you, Dr. Daniel. Actually, okay, let's look at the current market. A lot of people are focusing on, okay, selling property. How can I sell my property? And how can I, after you sell the property, how can I maintain the value of the property, right? So the other part, they are looking at how I can also make money, which is retain my tenant. So all these come into a very complex, which you are looking at a value, you are looking at the property value, and then at the same time, you have a lot of things to handle operation. How do I maintain? And how do I reduce the cost? So that is the reason why we started SerDec. Actually, as you know, I'm the co-founder. I have this vision is, I like to solve problems for people. And I was approached by people telling me, in the market, they are looking at some easy to use or some solution for them to be more effective and more visibility of what's happening in the environment, right? And what we understand, a lot of them are still using a lot of paper and pen, walkie-talkie, and a lot of duplication of work, like manual work. Once I done something, example, I take a picture from my mobile, and later on when I reach the office, I have to key in again to the PC. There's so much time. And every meeting, month-end meeting or weekly meeting, It's so many reports that have to manually created. There's no visibility. They have to do it here and there, right? So our aim was actually when we started this, we look at the manual work that been involved with most of the property management company or the owner, property owner. It's like, how do I cut costs, right? How do I control my costs? How do I meet my customer expectation at the same time? Your customer means your tenants, right? And then how do I track and manage my building asset? These are also key things, because anything wrong with the asset is your cost, right? And you're not talking about one time, it's talking about you can use it 5 years, 10 years. So if you can make the asset last for longer because of a proper maintain, that will really give you a lot of cost saving. And we are also talking about day-to-day unprioritized backlog. Today, I received 10 issue complaint or fail defect issue. Tomorrow, I receive another 20. 3 days, you got 30 issue. How do you manage it? How do you know which one you should handle first? So these are all a lot of messy thing happening in the operation for a building, right? And the next one, we are also looking at how do I coordinate? I'm not talking about 3 staff. I'm talking about 20 person in my maintaining team. And on top of that, I have few other teams. Example, I have cleaner, I have security guard, I have safety team, I have F&B team. I may have finance, I may have contractors that I need to manage. It's so many things. And not only that, I also looking at how do I make sure all the assets that I manage or all the assets in the building are properly maintained. When I say maintain, mean all the scheduled maintenance is done, right? But you see, when you are doing manually, it's very hard for you to really keep track. When you are busy with certain things, you forget about something, right? So these are nature. So that is where we come in and try to help them with something like easy to use, a solution which is easy to use, where people like a maintenance office, the admin can do, go all the way to the cleaner or security guard they were able to do. So it have to be very user-friendly and easy to do, right? Use mobile app, right? So this is what we come up with. And I also want to share what we hear, why there's a lot of company waiting for us to create an app like that. No, they know, they want an app like this before what we started serve that. But in the market, what we understand, a lot of this application came from overseas and it's very costly. It's talking about few 100,000 to millions, right? And not everyone can afford it in Malaysia. We are talking about ringgit, we're not talking about USD, okay? And that is the reason why I told them, look, why not I help you? I do something for you, okay? And when we started this, we realized that we were able to help a lot of property owner, especially developers who build a lot of property and they need to maintain themselves. There's a lot of cost involved and they need a lot of this cost saving, application to help in all this. So we actually, back to your question, how do we help them? Actually, we are very focused on, we started to look at digitalize. We look at mobility, everything on the spot, you do it, right? You do automation. We help them with intelligent features like we also add in some smart feature. You don't have to think twice. Everything is sorted out according to the priority. So you know the top one you have to do first, right? We also give you a lot of automation reminder coming in, so you don't have to keep reminding yourself. We also have a lot of like statistic report for you. By one click, you generate all the report with the pictures all attached without doing a second manual job. Of course, IoT, we are looking at this. This is our big thing, the IoT. And we have been done some of it. If I got a chance later, I can share more, right? So these are basically what we do. Yeah. I'm not sure this is answering your question. Yeah, okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. In quite a depth, I would say.
Thank you.
Please, we all try to contain, we are all very passionate about what we are doing, is try to contain the reply in time so that we can reply to more questions and engagement from our public. All right. Thank you very much, Michelle. Now, same question to you, Frank. From a residential point of view, what has been point one, the approach to the pain point? What has been attracting your attention on managing residential community, managing residential properties? Frank.
Okay, but before I want to answer the pain points, Dr. Daniel, is actually I would like to step back a little bit and give you a little bit of information, and also our audience here, on where we came from. So I personally have been living in Asia for 16 years now, and I've seen that service levels all over Asia can be improved, and in some instances it can be tremendously improved. These poor service levels count not just for the property industry, but can count for almost every industry, including the governments. So I always felt that if I'm going to set up a new business in a new field, one, it will be technical, and number two, it will be service level related. So the good news is, when we're talking about service improvements or poor services delivered, or services in general, the good news for Asia is improving. Within these 16 years, I've seen tremendous improvements coming. So I think with the more and more adopting the general public, everybody now has a mobile phone in their pocket, and we're using mobile applications every single day. It gives us the abilities to use applications to our advantage. So what we could see when we started properly about 6 years ago is that Asian companies in the property industry are very much focused towards marketing and sales. And once the sale is done, often then the service part is discarded or even reduced. And as companies often think that services cost money, but services in itself actually don't have to cost money. Of course, there is cost involved, but actually they will bring business. And so in principle, yes, it will cost money. That is true. However, we believe that if you deliver a good and great service to a client, then that client will help you in your overall branding and help you to sell more products. So that's a good news for property developers to actually enhance their service levels. So 6 years ago, we had the opportunity to enter the property development market here in Asia, and we brought in some European technology, but very quickly we understood within about 2 to 3 years that the European technology had limitations on the localization of the applications. So last year, we pivoted our company and built our own Asian property and building management system. Our new property command center relates much more to the requirement of the localized Asian market. So we now have the feeling that we have much more a product that really fits the local needs. And this also helps us to give inspiration and helping our clients forward by enhancing overall services to deliver to their house owners and building users, and of course also their own staff. So to all of us, new technology and mobile apps enhance and improve the overall service levels to property developers, residents, and property users overall. Now, to address these two pain points that you just asked for, I think Michelle just mentioned something as well. In the old days, when you wanted some automation in your business, that meant that you had to buy the software, install it on some network or on a computer system, and then you were the owner of the software, and then it would run for you. Now, this is the old days. The new days is where you actually have a subscription model, and where you are subscribed to some sort of software. You only pay a very small piece of the actual development cost per month. So you don't have to more or less flock out huge amounts of money to actually get involved and get part of your processes automated. That means at subscription-based levels, you can have web applications, you have mobile applications available, and more or less for the property developer, it's a pick and choose whatever you want. You take the modules that you want and you pay the subscription per month. And these subscriptions are penny-based, more or less, sometimes dollar-based, yeah? And then pain point two, I think the main, within our application, talking about service levels, I think one of the things that we've seen here in Asia is often there is a miscommunication. So communication was for us one of the pain points that we really wanted to solve for property developers. So with communication, we also improved workflows and approval addresses. So if somebody does a job, who's going to approve it? Does that person have to go onto the job site, or can he just do that from his computer screen? So we help the property developers in that as well. And then the system also takes care of all the discussions, pictures, documents, bookings, notification, anything to do with that we can store on a digital basis. So I hope that answered your question, Doctor.
Absolutely, Frank, absolutely, and in a quite short way. Thank you so much. Now I have a question for Michelle. Michelle, ServDeck, from what I've understood, has been in the market for several years already, which means ServDeck is not a solution, as far as properly is also not a solution, which came in the market during the pandemic. You were in the market and well established long before. How the pandemic has been bringing in new challenges for a provider of this type of service, considering above all that, as you have been telling us, telling me before, your application, your solution is adaptable to building, business, and retailers, retail area. Elaborate a bit more on this, and eventually let us know how ServDeck has been helping with the pandemic. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I maybe just want to emphasize, ServTech is actually 2.5 years old. But when we started, there was no pandemic, okay? And during pandemic, we jump in and look at how can we help our existing customer and also our customer that we are working with. For example, we are talking about contactless. We are talking about paperless. We don't want to pass around the paper, right? So we have worked out with, like example, one of our client, IOI Mall. They have a total of 3 malls: Kulai Mall, City Mall, IOI Puchong Mall. How do we help them so that when all the customer came in, they were able to register who are they? But we don't want every customer, which is a repeat customer, came in. I need to register every time when I come in, right? So what we do is we have come up with an individual QR code called Daniel QR code, Frank QR code. So Frank just need to register one. If Frank have gone to IOI Mall, the next day he went to another of our customers, they say Paradigm Mall, our system were able to detect this is Frank because of the mobile number, right? So we have all this coming in to ease the contact tracing. So no more paper and pen. Everything is automatically uploaded in ServDeck system. Second thing, we also help like Setia City Mall, where we use ServDeck integrate with the temperature scanner. So once I register, example, Daniel as registered as a tenant, because I think in there's talking about few hundreds, close to 1,000 tenant employee in the shopping mall. So for Setia City Mall, every day under the SOP, you need to register the employee and the tenant daily temperature. So we have this actually recorded all by using ServDeck. They just need to stand in front of the what they call that thermal scanner with the QR code. They will register you. They know this is Daniel. Temperature 36.5, right? So these are the things that we help our client. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Very, very interesting, and definitely this shows also how PropTech solutions are able to adapt easily and in a fast way to new requirement from the market. Frank, challenging question for you, because managing and handling commercial building, business, office space, and so on, it might be a bit less difficult compared to your main target client, which are residential communities, because business-wise, we want to have our face properly showed off. So we are more willing to pay management fee and so on. We also know how difficult it is very often for the BOJ and resident association and management company to be able to collect on time the payments and deal with all these unpredictable human beings. how how did you decide to get this big headache for yourself, and how are you addressing this kind of relationship, human with management with building? How
Okay,
properly
thank you,
help?
Dr. Yes, I understand. Thank you very much for the question. You always throw very challenging questions at us. Very good. I think, to be honest with you, we often see that commercial buildings seem to have more issues than residential buildings. But I think the local, how shall I say, the local Asian audience has become verbal as well. That maybe has to do with the ability to actually go onto social media, for instance. But I think there's definitely issues to solve, even if we talk about residential areas and handling residents in general. Because you just said that the unpredictable factor are actually people, but residents, of course, are also people. Property developers are also people. Contractors are also people. So personally, I do think that the people in general are a bit more predictable than you just assumed. I think that in general, the 90% of the public is pretty predictable. There is another 5 to 10% maybe that is not that predictable, but we can learn from them. And once we learn from them, they become also a little bit more predictable. So then only we end up with another 1 or 2% that become very unpredictable or unrational. So again, it comes back to a little bit to what we said earlier. Again, it comes often down to proper communication, because if the communication is solved in a proper manner, in a timely manner, then often a lot of the problems are immediately reduced. So in principle, for our software tools try to eliminate all these communication issues and breakdowns and response rates and things like that. So but we provide, well, let's put it this way. If you normally have a property developer that has an office, that office then offers a walk-in opportunity, a telephone channel, a WhatsApp channel, a WeChat channel, maybe an online channel. So there's all these different channels that need to be handled. In principle, our software provides one channel, that's a mobile app that everybody uses. And then we have a small call center for anybody that still wants to talk to a real person. And all of that can be handled in one channel, which makes life very easy. So in principle, I can say that we make the unpredictable predictable.
Good. That's very fine. Very good point. Making unpredictable predictable. Good. Very good. I will talk with the management company of my place.
Okay.
To reach out to you. Now we have to rush a bit because we are already past the half of our session. We still have about 15 minutes before we will need to complete and say bye-bye to our client, to our public. Let me just take a very short break to remember to all our viewers, stay with us till the end, because Big 2 Bazaar has been putting up a basket of weekly prize for a value of 28,500 ringgit. And how to win these prizes, unbelievable prizes, inclusive of LCD TV, iPhone 12, and much more, in a very simple way. You have to pay attention to our discussion, to what we say. You have to understand what the discussion is about, and reply to 3 very simple quiz at the end. And later I will remind to you how to make sure that you will be entitled to win the prize. So stay with us. Now, let's change a bit the direction in terms of topic. I mean, we remain in PropTech, but I would like to address what has been one of the nightmares for many Malaysians in the last 12 months: lose their job, the loss of their job, the loss of their income. Very often, technology, digital transformation has been looked at as a job terminator type of avatar, very scaring. Technology is going to reduce the people in the management company, technology is reducing people in the factories, and so on. Personally, I have the feeling that there is something more happening thanks to technology in the creation of new job, and above all, how the creation of new job combined with ESG and SDG 2030 PropTech can all together create a more sustainable ecosystem for the real estate industry in Malaysia. I am combining a bit the last two questions that we were discussing because of time constraint. So we talk about PropTech, job creation or job killer, and how education should be looked at in terms of preparing the right people for the right job, kind of.
Right.
Maybe, Frank, we start from you?
Yes, sure. Doctor, thanks. I think it's a very good point that you address here. For me, I would like to answer two parts. My answer is part of two parts. You just used an interesting word called job terminators. Often, I think in the late 70s and late 80s of the last century, this is the part where I was studying, I think, yes, everybody looked at technology is killing jobs. And people were even against technology in their lives because they had this overall feeling that, it would one day, the technology would take over and their job would no longer be there. Now, let me take you a little bit back to my childhood. I owned a computer since 1984, and my mom always told me, stop playing games. Here I am now, almost 35 years later, and she would not know at that time when she told me stop playing games that I would be in the tech industry, and I have a business which has we offer jobs to people in various countries. So definitely she wasn't my mom. Normally I always agree with my mom, but in this case I couldn't agree with her. So in principle, to me, tech is creating jobs, absolutely, and it's creating it worldwide. I mean, let's put it this way. If you are using Facebook today, somebody must have thought up that little program, somebody has created that, and somebody has been enhancing that, and somebody is maintaining that system and technology. And maybe some other people are even training on the specific subject of technology. So all of these little elements do create jobs. So to me, tech creates jobs. Definitely, the beauty here in Asia, I think, is that the tech industry here in Asia really provides a platform for bright and young people to be creative and achieve their life goals. So that's a good thing. But now to the second part of my question, because now we get to the real job terminators, and that might shock you a little bit, hopefully not too much, but I think this is a bit of a different angle. One of the things I can see that is missing here in Malaysia is that, in principle, most kids that are growing up are already at an early stage in their life pushed towards studying and pushed towards attending university. And every parent would like that kid to become a doctor, an engineer, and a banker. Now, the problem is that we can't run a country with only doctors, engineers, and bankers. You can't just have people with master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, and PhDs. We have to personally, I think we have to stop looking down at people that have jobs like plumbers and wiremen and tilers and masonry people and even cleaners. These people provide an income to themselves by doing jobs other people don't want to do. But I will also want to highlight one other thing. To be honest with you, and this is sometimes when I have these discussions with contractors, for instance, a good and specialized, well-trained plumber can make more than a doctor.
Yeah,
it's a
precisely.
I agree as well.
I fully agree with you.
So for me, what we need is more specialized craftsmen in this country. It's incredible. I live in Kuantan. I'm in the capital of the province. There is nobody here training plumbers, tilers, and masonry people. So, but all of these people need this form of training. So personally, in this case here, and maybe it's not nice to if you are in the education industry, it's maybe not nice what I'm going to say now. But in principle, I think it's not tech that is terminating jobs; it's the education system itself that is terminating some jobs. And this is why we have to get people from outside of Malaysia to do some of the jobs. Not that people don't want to do but they have not been trained because they have been trained to become a doctor, an engineer, and a banker. So hopefully that answers your question a bit.
Well, a bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
Michelle,
let me
please.
add a little. Okay, from my point of view, definitely it's not a terminator, right? Tech. So, like example, from my experience with the client, the tech solution is actually enhance and increase the staff productivity. When I say that, even a technician or a cleaner, we were able to have a better effectiveness in performing their tasks, right? And that we are talking about, we are not talking about replacing their job. We are talking about doing the same thing, but they were able to have a better time to do other things, right? And we also have clients looking at adopting this tech, not to lay off anybody. No, that's not their plan, but to grow their business with the same number of employees, the technician team, the cleaner team.
Yeah.
So this is what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. And doing this, applying a proper distribution of education through different layers, what we do, we definitely contribute in allowing people assessing a less expensive, cheaper education, get a technically prepared job with a good income. As Frank was saying, a plumber can earn more than a programmer almost. So enhancing and kind of committing in a much better way to the full realization of SDG 2030. Because SDG 2030 has a Sustainable Development Goal 2030. We have 17 goals inside there. And building, construction, development is only one of them. There are another 16 which should be looked at. And PropTech definitely is touching at least 4 to 5 of them. Well, you know that when I start talking, I would never stop. And I can see that Frank and Michelle are also in the same boat as me. We didn't have any particular question from the public. There is actually one. Let me try. I know that the organizer will kill me because we are going to exceed a little bit. It is important to give a reply to this single question. It related to IoT. This our viewer is asking, will IoT for smart building be the next trend or is already a trend? What are challenges and impact? Who wants to reply to this question? But you have less than 1 minute.
Okay, I think I can take the first one, then Frank can add on, yeah? Okay, for IoT, I would say it's already going on because if you may not know, like example, a condominium already integrate with some system, monitoring system to the gate. Like example, in Subdeck, we already integrate with the turnstile. We using an app straight away. I register Frank. I know this is the visitor coming in. Straight away with the Frank, we no longer talk about access card, yeah, everything in digital. So with the mobile, I just need to scan. They will allow me, the turnstile will open. And this is talking about IoT, machine and machine talking. Right? This is example. Yeah, Frank, I pass it to you, Frank. Yeah.
Very short example.
Yes, for me, there's two reasons. I'm putting two fingers here somewhere. Two reasons why I think that IoT is going to move forward very quickly in the future. Reason number one is cost of IoT. Normally, when you had a small device that was measuring something that is connected to the internet, was quite pricey. But now, because worldwide there is adoption for this kind of modules, they are very cheap. And they can be produced extremely cheap, so they can be implemented very cheaply into buildings as well. That's number one. Number two is, in the old days, internet speeds, bandwidth was not there. But now we're all moving towards 4G, 5G, and 6G is even on the planks. So definitely IoT is the way forward. Yeah.
Very good.
To add also,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Frank.
We already
to add also,
go.
Yeah. I think the PropTech companies that we know, the members like MPA members, right? Most of the app is already built with the IoT, the what they call integration, API ready. So that is also back to what Daniel and Frank said. Why is easy to do now? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
very
Okay.
good, very good. And with this, we sadly come to the end of this. I would love to go ahead for at least another 1 hour. I would like each of you to just close your presence here with us today. Thanking you so much for being with us and taking your time out of a busy schedule that I know both of you have. Just one single simple sentence to close your presence, to terminate your presence in this panel discussion. Michelle, you first.
Okay. Okay, my wish is all the property industry, all the operations management company or the team are looking in digitalize their operation. That is my wish. This is definitely something you have to go now, and not afraid about starting something like small step. You will definitely make it. Of course, the challenges are there when you adopt digitalization, but it will definitely lead you to a better future. Thank you.
Very good. Michelle, Frank.
I think, okay, I would like to end with for the next famous last words. If there's any students listening to this session, then I would encourage you, come and work in the PropTech industry. It's an exciting world. It's moving. It's fast paced. There's a lot of fun and excitement happening on the floors of all our businesses. And my last words would be, I would like to thank the Property Malaysian and the Malaysian PropTech Association and Dr. Daniel for this opportunity and hosting this excellent talk show. We need more of these kind of talk shows to make the property industry aware, but also the general public aware what's available so they can ask the people that they would buy properties from, for instance. And thanks again for this opportunity and letting me share my views.
Mostly welcome to both of you. Thanks again for being with us. And now we come to the moment that we all have been waiting, all our public at least, have been waiting for the past 40 plus minutes, the quiz time. Let me reminding all of you very briefly what are the terms and conditions to be able to win a quiz, beside knowing, guessing the right reply to the quiz. You have first to like 2 Facebook page. One is Malaysian Property, and the other one is Big 2 Bazaar. You have to go and like these 2 pages. You have to share our talk show using 2 hashtags. One is MP Weekly Prizes 2021, and the other one is hashtag MP Talk Show 2021. Then you take note of this contact number, WhatsApp number, where you have to send your reply. Because how do I send a reply to a WhatsApp? 010-916-4347. Make sure you are getting ready with this number in your handphone and ready to give ABCD reply when the quiz appears on the screen. And I think here we are. Let's see whether the first quiz for the third prize, first we go for the third prize, is coming out. Which one of the following options is not the solution provided by ServDeck, one of our 2 speakers? A, office and commercial building. Remember, is not the solution. Office and commercial building, shopping malls and hotels, retail outlets. D, durian. Which one is not the solution provided by ServDeck? Reply fast. And this is the quiz for the third prize. Now we go and see the quiz for the second prize, and the higher we go, the better becomes the prize. Quiz is which one of the following alternatives options is not a service provided by properly. Very difficult. This one is extremely difficult. Reply number A, Nasi Lemak. Reply number B, resident payments and e-billing. Reply number C, community engagement. Reply number D, residential defect management. Reply you have to say which one of these four is not within the services provided by Properly. I guess you know which one. So also the second prize is gone. And now the big, huge prize that, out of the 28,500 Malaysian ringgit, you can imagine what can be the first prize. Let's see. The drums are sounding and the quiz number 3 comes up. What is the topic of this week's Malaysian property talks? What is the topic of the week? If you have been noticing, it has been around on the screen in yellow color since day one, since the first minute. You look around a bit and make sure you send very, very, very fast the reply. Remember, the telephone number you have to send the reply to through WhatsApp is 010-916-4347. 010-916-4347. Monday, the 3 winners will be exposed on the Malaysian Property Facebook page. Remember, when you send a WhatsApp, you have to send the reply, your real name, and your Facebook name, because we need to check, the organizer, we need to check if you have been complying with all the terms and conditions, which were to like the pages of Malaysian Property, Big to Bazaar, and secondly, to share the talk show with the 2 hashtags that I've been mentioning before. One is hashtag MP Weekly Prizes 2021. The second one is hashtag MP Talk Show 2021. Unfortunately, we are coming at the end. All the good things are ending somehow. It has been a huge pleasure to have Michelle, co-founder and business development director of ServTech, with us today, and Frank from Kuantan. He is online with us from Kuantan, CEO and founder of Properly. We hope you all have been enjoying this session, and remember, next Saturday, March 6th at 3 p.m. in the same place, at the same time, but with different speakers. See you next week. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Stay
Bye.
safe.